Hey, Redeeming Grace Church family and friends, Pastor Josh here, and I just want to give you an update and some information for Passion Week and the next few weeks coming up. First of all, we have a pretty quiet Easter week this year. Typically, we've done like a Good Friday service, but I'm actually not going to be available tonight, Thursday night, or Friday, and so we just opted to not pay the rent for that, to not put that kind of weight on our members to do another service. And so we just encourage you that if you love Good Friday service, Monday, Thursday services, there are good churches in town. Would love to have you just join up with other good Christians. We're not the only church in town, and link up with them. I'd recommend South Canyon's Good Friday service, which is Friday night. You can find information online. That's our mother church. So jump in with them if you enjoy those Good Friday services. In terms of Easter Sunday, we have been promoting an Easter egg hunt for kids and families. That will happen at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning outside the Journey, weather permitting. And that has always had a really good turnout. So if you're able to come at 9:15 and help us get set up, get positioned, and just be able to serve those people as best as we can, to give them a great first impression about Redeeming Grace Church, to relationally connect with them, to help keep things orderly, to make sure that there's a touch point. And not very often do people actually stick around for the service, but just knowing that there's a church here in town that will treat them well and meets in this location, that's a win in my book. It's just to let them know that we're here. So while we want to invite them to stick around and stay, just that touch point, just letting them know that there's a church with really good, sweet people here that love our community, that love kids, that treat us well, that run a good event, that would be wonderful. So if we could have as many of our people there just to make connections and help facilitate that event, that will be great. We will have our regular worship service at 10:30. We're not doing really anything out of the ordinary. We celebrate the resurrection every Sunday. Easter special. I love making it special. This year we're going pretty low key, and so it'll be a normal worship service. Encourage you to invite people to come. But that's what's going on Easter Sunday, and would love your help and engagement and intentionality to help make sure that that is a great day. I also want to invite you to a worship night on April 14th. That's a Sunday night. We're going to do it at the Minnelusahan Senior Citizen Center. Say that 3 times fast. This building is actually just on the other side of the Club for Boys from the Journey Museum, just a few hundred feet away. It's on the corner of Haynes or 5th Street and New York. You have driven by it more times than you realize and probably never even noticed that it's there. But we're going to do a worship night there at 6 p.m. And we've got 2 reasons for doing that. One is that it's always just good to worship the Lord. So we would love to do that, just a Sunday evening service of worshiping the Lord. Secondarily, we are considering that space in terms of our Sunday morning gathering. We're thinking about moving from the Journey Museum on Sunday morning to that location. There's pros and cons. It's going to save a considerable amount of money. There's some advantages to it. There's also some disadvantages. And so we, as the members at our last family meeting, decided, let's do a worship night there, and let's just get a feel for the space and see if it would actually work for us. So we have a couple of purposes for our worship night on April 14th. And we would love for you to come and would love for you to weigh in. Our members will be making a decision here by the end of April on whether or not we move locations as a church. And as part of that, one of our desires is that we would end up in a full-time 24/7 space at some point. At this point, the Lord hasn't opened those doors, and so perhaps moving to the senior center, to the Senior Citizens Center, would save us some money, allow us to do some other things, would open up some new opportunities and new connections. So we're just thinking about that. But if you know of people who own space in the downtown or North Rapids area that might work for a church, I'm always looking, I'm always investigating. I've walked through lots of properties. Nothing has quite fit the bill. But if you know of something that might be coming available or is available, and an owner would work with us, understanding the needs of a church, the configurations of a building for a church, the financial realities of a church plant, that is our ultimate goal, is to get ourselves rooted and planted in the community in some respects. And so pray for that. At this point, we're just considering a move over to the Senior Center, April 14th. Worship night is a part of that. So would love to have you come and weigh in on that. One last thing. We have been talking for a long time about setting up an RGC Cares team, or benevolence. We have some money set aside. We've put into a special fund. And now we have put together a team with policies to where we are now going to be able to help meet people with physical needs, help meet physical needs for people. So for those that are connected to our church, you can submit a request at rgcrc.org rgc-cares. All right, you can't just find this randomly on the website. You actually have to plug that address in, rgcrc.org/rgc-cares. And it'll pull up a website, and there's an online form to submit for financial help. Now, it's not just a wide open, we're just going to throw money at things. We're a disciple-making organization under the lordship of Jesus Christ. And so it's not our goal. We won't approve every single request, but if we can help our members and attenders, and maybe even those in the community, come to know Jesus, and we can help be the church, help meet their physical and spiritual needs together, we're now set up to begin doing that more effectively. So continue to pray for those people on that team. And if you know or hear of needs, don't flood them with a bunch of stuff that they're going to have to say no to. But if there are real ministry opportunities and discipling reasons why meeting a particular need would be a good idea, that team would love to consider those, pray about those, and see if we can't become a really healthy church that helps meet people's physical and spiritual needs, just as Jesus did. He cared for physical bodies and for provision and for food, but ultimately he came to proclaim the gospel and make disciples. And the same is true for us. We would love to meet physical needs and use that opportunity to help nourish people, strengthen people, disciple people spiritually. All right, I love you. I hope you'll be able to join us on Sunday morning and help us out with all the different things that are going on, and ultimately just worship our resurrected King. What an amazing thing we believe, that we believe God came in the flesh, died on the cross to reconcile us to God, and actually rose from the dead, literally, and that we too will be raised because of our trust and faith in him. That is an amazing thing. It's almost absurdly comical. In fact, this Sunday, we're going to look at a question from Mark chapter 12, where Jesus is challenged about the absurdity of resurrection, and he's going to give his reasons why the resurrection is real and what he believed on that Tuesday when he taught and challenged these Pharisees. He then believes on Friday as he goes to the cross, and then accomplishes on Sunday morning. And so we're going to look at that challenge of Jesus and what he has to say about resurrection, and then how he actually accomplishes it. It's glorious. It's amazing. It's the greatest truth in the world. And we would love to experience and worship the Lord Jesus Christ together on Sunday morning. All right. I love you. Have a great Easter week, and I'll see you Sunday. Bye.